Hey! Welcome to another special edition of the greatest goddamn D&D stream on this world and the next here. Welcome to Goblins Under the Stairs, which today is powered by a very hungover Big Mac. Oh yeah, you got Snorak the Destroyer ready to slash and bash your Sunday away with his epic Kura Destroyers. You got Fang the Mang. We got Wilmore Chanton, who's a little too chilly to be outside today. And of course, the greatest D&D DM in all the land here. It's Nate Gonzalez. Take it away, Nate.
All right, thank you, Solrak the Destroyer, and welcome everyone to tonight's edition, hungover edition per Solrak and Fang of Goblins Under the Stairs. Glad to have you all back with us tonight. Yeah, you know, being hungover is the coolest.
I'm not cool enough.
I'm not cool enough for you?
Not cool enough.
So, yeah, glad to have everyone back here. Glad to jump back into this thing. But, of course, before we do that and head right on into the action of the players right in the heart of Iron Slag, still fighting off against Fire Giants and Ogres, let's give you guys a quick little refresher, recap, and then we'll see if you guys actually make it out of Iron Slag eventually, finally, today, at some point in time. So, the last time we were all together, you guys were in the heat of combat in the main assembly room of Iron Slag against Zalto and all of his minions. Fight going on strong, Misa knocking out a couple of the orcs, and then spreading on over towards Vonendad's body and running up the alongside the length of it, leaping off of it and towards the platform in which he hung from. Reginald came in, killing a couple more of these minions and protecting Fang as he attacked one more of the Fire Giants and made a run for it into the smoke to try to heal back up real quick and get everyone back together again. Wilmore, being the creepy little fucker that he is, pulled out his Pipes of Haunting and started playing this spellbinding tune that got everyone within earshot of him quite frightened of him and would not move anywhere towards him at all. And of course, you know, we're having a hard time striking against him or any of his allies because of how afraid they were from this chilling and haunting tune that he played. So providing some sort of distraction for the rest of the party, Solrak found this opportunity to kill one of the Fire Giants, ripping him apart, ripping his flesh apart in his werewolf form after Fang took a bunch of nice solid hits on him and weakened him down a bit. Dozar, the big Fire Giant with his plowed shields, came trying to close in on Misa and attack him any which way he could, but Misa hopped on over that platform ledge and found the winch in which Vonendad was being held up from, and after a couple of seconds was able to pull that down using all of his strength, and Vonendad came collapsing down in one massive hulk in pieces on top of Dozar, crushing him to death, and of course rendering Vonendad disabled and in a bunch of pieces on the ground there. Zalto then, noticing of course that things were going a little bit astray and the drow was running off with the Fire Primordial Megara to try to put him in the forge. Zalto went to follow after him, and of course Wilmore saw a good opportunity to shoot off some Eldritch Blast in his direction and hitting with a critical hit right on his chest. He knocked Zalto down and finally laid him to rest. And of course with the rest of the minions down, except for the couple of saucy hobgoblins that Wilmore had on the south side, that drow mage of House Zorlaren, he was trying to make a run for it, seeing that, you know, wasn't going his way, and he was trying to make it out as while he still could. And so Wilmore sent Sanity into that darkness to try to scope out this drow, and finding the drow in there, shot off a couple more Eldritch Blast. Not before the drow, of course, shot some sort of white sticky substance all over Solrak, and Solrak was kind of dancing around in it and smelling it, and he tasted it for a second, which was weird.
Loved it.
Whoa.
But after, you know, the drow entangled Solrak and whatever this web was, Wilmore, being relentless, shot off a couple more Eldritch Blast and ended that drow quite quickly there. Quickly, you guys noticed, of course, that the carts that were moving all the iron ore and material around the chambers had stopped moving almost a minute ago, probably 30 seconds ago at this point, and you guys were worried about causing some more attention from other minions and fire giants in surrounding areas, you guys decided let's make haste and be as quickly as we can, grab what we need. So Wilmore went over to the drow, grabbed the iron flask off of Drow's hip, which Wilmore believes carries the fire primordial Megara of Gauntlgrim. And Fang ran over and stood on top of Zalto, just looking down at this hulking mass of this beast who has once sent a lot of pain and heartache through Fang and his family and his village. Now is just there, dead, bleeding out. So Fang, an eye for an eye, went down and pulled out his dagger and chopped the eyes out of Zalto's skull, and with his prayer wheel out, wiped his dagger with the blood on there onto the prayer transcript. And he quickly grabbed Zalto's ring as well, and Miz was like, guys, we need to get out of here. So he began leading guys out there, but only being down here one time, he kind of got a little confused about his whereabouts and where to lead you guys towards. So you guys got turned around a bit. He had to lead you guys back down to the south, up some stairwells, where you guys found this dank and dirty room filled with a bunch of cages and slaves in a few of those cages. Quickly wedged open one of them, broke down another, and got the other one broken free, releasing the dwarves, humans, and gnomes that were held captive within them. And the next room over, you guys came running in there and saw that there was the slave wheel, which was no longer moving, which was pushing around all the carts throughout the vicinity of Ironslag, with about 15 to 20 humans and dwarves in there as well. Freed them and told them to come along with you guys, and you guys kept on running along, Misa leading the way in quite a haste. And you guys made it into the next room, which seemed to be like the main foundry smelter kind of room, where there's this large pit of molten iron in the center of it. You guys are up on these gantries, platforms about 50 feet above the ground, with these large smelter pieces of equipment like on each side of this pool here. Of course, you saw these ogres with these large pokers trying to tip over these iron ore into these smelters, and these fire giants pushing the bellows to heat them up. And as soon as they noticed you guys, they began to attack, of course, with the ogres poking at you guys with these sticks, and the fire giants lobbing some molten globs of iron at you guys. Fang knocked one of them out of the way, and then dove down and kicked one of the fire giants into the molten iron, and he vanished into there, sinking into there. But then he, a couple seconds later, rose from the molten iron with the hot molten iron just dripping off of his body, completely unscathed and unharmed from that. Battle continues on with you guys continue trying to make your way across the platform and out to the north side, with one of the iron globs getting thrown up there and smacking Reginald and knocking him unconscious. And that's pretty much where we are right now in the heat of this battle, where Reginald is unconscious currently. We have a couple of the slaves, the gnomes, humans, and dwarves behind Wilmore, a couple of them behind Reginald and King Harneth, and a few of them behind Solrak, the Destroyer, with Fang down on the lower level, 50 feet below everyone, same level as that ogre and the rest of the fire giants are on currently, and that, of course, the pool of the molten iron. So, that brings us to the top of the combat. We are not round 1, I believe this is round 5. I don't know why it says 1. But Fang, at the top of the combat, you are currently quote-unquote hidden from this ogre. Fire Giant knows whereabouts you ran to, but the ogre, you ran by so fast and he has no idea where you went to. You are tucked behind this one smelter and the wall and the platform that's 50 feet above you. What would you like to do?
Yeah, so take this time to try and escape this area. So I actually start. And how tall were these walls again? 50 feet?
To the platform is 50 feet, yes. The wall itself, if you go all the way up to the ceiling, is 90 feet.
Yeah, so I'm just going to walk up the wall 45 feet.
Okay.
And as my action, I will use my last little bit of And bonus action. If I use the ointment as an action, can I use a health potion as a bonus action?
Sure, yeah, if that's all what you want your action to be, sure.
Yep.
But when you're running up this wall, so you can run up 45 feet. The platform's 50 feet. Uh, what's your plan there?
Now, let me ask you this.
He
Because
just runs up and falls.
Into the lava.
Can I technically jump once I reach 45 feet to reach that extra
Jump
5 feet?
is typically included in your speed, but
Yeah, but can't you technically jump like?
technically it's supposed to be included in your total speed that you do. But what you could do is, as an action instead,
A
is
dash.
do an acrobatics. Yeah, you could dash, or you could do that as a bonus action too. Or I'll let you do a acrobatics or athletics check to see if you can get yourself up there. But that would be, you'd have to spend either an action or bonus action for any of those options.
Right. Yeah, and I'll just dash then, and then bonus action I'll just apply some ointment.
All right, so Fang just begins sprinting up the wall vertically, goes up as far as he can, so you can go up the full 50 feet up that to the platform, and then you can go another 30 feet, right?
40.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So, and I take that time now to head towards the rest of the group. So, okay.
Okay. Will there be anything else for your turn other than running and healing?
And I just want to kind of say that I'm like trying to keep cover from the giant and ogre. Hopefully they didn't see me, but like I said, just trying to keep a low profile, I should say.
Sure thing. All right, Wilmore, you were up.
So I imagine this banister. It looks like there's like a hole in it. There's like I'm assuming there's probably like a 2-foot hole, and then a hole, and then 2 more feet since it's made for giants, or.
Yeah, you get a little bit of cover through that. Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna like duck down, put on my ring, turn invisible, and then move 25 feet.
Okay.
And then that is gonna be my turn.
All right. Anything for sanity?
Where's sanity? He's gonna move up over here.
Okay. This group of slaves are all going to follow up behind. I guess they don't see you there, so they're not going to do that. But they're just going to run up as far as they can anyways. All right. Anything else for your Wilmore Insanity?
Nope.
All right. Brings us to this ogre down here who heard the footsteps of the monk running up the wall and sees him, but a bit too late to be able to do much about it right now. He just takes his pointy stick and sees you up there and considers throwing it, looks at you, and then looks back at the pointy stick and kind of shrugs and goes for it. Kind of just dings right into the platform below you as it does not connect at all with a 9. All right, brings us to Reginald. Grab my dice.
Wake up, Reggie. Wake up.
And he stands up
Ooh,
with the double nat 20. It's 4.
that was cocked.
It's 4
He does a
successes in
backflip.
one roll.
I heard that was impossible. It's crazy.
I've
Alright,
never seen
so-
anything like that in my life.
Reginald takes his turn. As that whole area surrounding him is kind of glowing with that bright, hot, molten iron that's just kind of sinking slowly into the iron platform. All right, brings us to this fire giant here. Who is lost sight of the little man he was watching. So he looks over at the closest one to him, and he throws up a molten glob at him. Will a 19 hit? What's your AC right now?
To me?
Yeah.
It is 19.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, you get +2 cover for what you are, so
Yeah, so 20. Yeah, I was gonna ask that. So
Just
21.
smacks into that and just misses you. All right. Yep, he's gonna end his turn there. Misa looks back at the party and everyone like kind of still like a little bit further behind him. He's like, Solrak, hurry up, guys. We need to move faster, faster. You need help over there, or is the king okay? Is Reginald okay?
Reggie needs help.
Ah, shit. All right. So he begins just running back as quickly as he can, and he's a quick motherfucker. So he goes back there, and then he can get right there as his dash action, and he can't do it again. So I'll be right there. And that's it. His turn.
Okay. Well, since I see that he is taking care of Reggie. Wait, this is where he landed, right?
Correct. He couldn't get all the way there.
Shit. Okay. I'm going to just do this myself. I'm going to dash over to Reggie. 40 feet. And I'll drop him. I'll put a health potion down his throat.
Okay.
Wake him up.
All right.
Leaves me with one.
Sounds good.
Should I roll the
Yes,
health
please.
for him? Okay. And it's a regular health potion, so it should be, I believe, 2d4 plus 2.
You got it, man.
Oh, baby. Okay, so he gets 6.
All right. You put that vial to his lips and begin turning it vertically, letting him swallow it down, and you see his eyes begin to twitch a little bit, and he opens back up and looks right up at you, Solrak. Oh, Solrak. It's good to see you, mate. Got a little bit more fire in me still.
Hey, well, don't be too glad to see me yet. Got a long ways to go. Let's get out of here.
All right. Anything else for you? You can move 20 more
Move
feet.
15 feet,
Or
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so I'll dash 15 feet back over here, which puts me right behind this slaves.
Okay.
I'm here.
Fire giant all the way up to the north here. Can't quite throw gloves of iron that far, so they all miss if he were to do so. All right, this one closest one to Misa. He throws a glob up at him. A natural 1 and a natural 20. That's hilarious. But it's disadvantage on his hits, so it misses. All right, this one closest to Solrak reaches down to the pool, grabs a glowing orb of iron, and throws it up at you. A 17 to hit. Will not do it.
Beat.
All right. At the end of the turn, the slaves all begin running up a little bit further. A little bit further. All right, and that brings us to Fang.
I will just dash to get up with the rest of the crew.
All right. Wilmore is invisible right now, but you do see Sanity. So you're gonna do a full 90 feet.
Yep. So gets me pretty much right there.
Do I have the measure while dragging the tokens turned on for you guys right now? Is it measuring?
I've been using the ruler.
Okay.
Yeah, I just use the ruler.
Does it not measure when you
But I
guys
think
pick
it
up
is turned on.
the token?
Let's see. No, it doesn't. Not
If you
anymore.
go
Yeah,
to-
no,
Did
when you
before.
For like that one day.
Go to the gear, the cog icon in the top right, settings, and turn it on if you want that on. That is measure while dragging tokens.
Oh, that'd be so much helpful.
Yeah, that way like
do
you
that.
can see as you're physically moving your token.
Yeah.
What does stream dice rolls mean?
That means you can actually see the people's dice rolls. So yeah, turn it on real quick. Let's see if everyone wants to turn it on. We'll see if we can see everyone's dice rolls because we never enable it. A dice stream peer has connected. Oh, that's fun. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
It's gonna get real bad.
Uh-oh. I hope we
Oh,
don't
losing
crash my
something.
computer.
Losing something. Uh-oh. Frenzy Bolt.
No, don't do that one. Don't do it. Not frenzy bolt. It's taking
That was
forever.
just a hit.
Oh, but that's probably a fake one though. Oh,
I just did the hit one. I
Yeah.
didn't know if you guys could see the dice scroll, but
That's
alright.
funny. Fang, anything else? Full dash.
Yeah, that's everything.
Alrighty. Dice stream is disconnected. Who did that? Wilmore, you're up.
These guys have been chucking these things pretty far, right?
The Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been throwing them about as far as like they can't really throw like they've been throwing them up at you guys, but they don't seem to have the best aim. That's for sure.
All right. So I am going to bonus action. So I'm like ducked down underneath the thing so no one can see me. I'm gonna bonus action become visible. I'm gonna stick my head up and scream out to this fire giant like, you couldn't hit dead Zalto's body with those throws. And then like to make sure he sees me, and then I'm gonna duck back down, turn invisible, and move my 25 feet up here. But like with the premise that like he would have seen me there,
Sure.
and just there.
And also roll a d6. I just remembered that. He takes that damage at the beginning of the turn because he's got the black tentacle wrapped around him.
Oh, yep, you're right. Oh yeah, he can
He's
roll
grappled.
another one after his turn.
Yeah. I rolled a 9 on the dice though, plus a 11, I believe. Or what's
Then he would've been done, yeah,
it's
20 he would've been
it's
done.
strength. Yeah, it was a 16 actually total.
Okay, then
I
I
think
guess my save DC is 16. So.
Yes, alright, so it breaks out that time. Cool. Alright. Alright, so Wilmore he makes himself visible again, taunts this fire giant, goes invisible again. Anything else?
Come up here. Sandy's gonna just kind of like fly over here. Just kind of perching his little self over here on this thing.
Alright.
That's it.
Cool. This ogre here begins running over here real quick to grab his javelin again, or his like poker stick, and that's going to actually no. You can move up a little bit further. He gets closer towards you guys, all the slaves over here, and Fang, and ends his turn. Reginald up now. Let me see something real quick. Oof. As he lies here in the fire, the magma, he takes a couple points of damage. And he quickly hops up and rolls out of this magma. Quickly, like you see his little feet hopping up quickly, like he's running across hot coals. And he makes it out of there. He took 3 points of damage out of the 6 that he had left. And he runs up. Actually, he can only go up. That's as far as he can go because he got up and used half his movement. But he is going to dash, so he's going to go just 25 more feet then. As he's just bolted on by you. Thank you, Solrak! And that's his turn. Alright, this guy down here. Was taunted by Wilmore. He doesn't see the dude anymore, but saw him right there. He's going to hurl a glob right where he's... Actually, let's see. Make an intelligence check. He's going to hurl a glob right where he saw Wilmore. 2 5s on the dice, wow. Both will miss, or the disadvantage will miss as he shoots that fire glob right about there. Alright, that'll end his turn. Misa is up now, sees Reginald back to his feet. He just shakes his head, this creep. And he just keeps on running, dashes as far as he can, and gets right there. Solrak, you're up.
Right, I'm going to dash along the fuck out of there. So 60 feet as far as I can go.
Is anyone going to interact with any more combat with these guys?
At the current time, no.
Alright.
Unless I really need to.
What we'll do is everyone make a acrobatics check.
Should we do that now?
Everyone do it right now. Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to see if you guys get out of here without taking on anything else. Wow.
18.
Natural 1 on the dice, a 5 on the dice, and a 4 on the dice.
Not very acrobatic giants.
At 20. 15.
18.
Fang?
She's coming. Oh, 11.
11. You guys continue just running out of here as quickly as you can. You guys each roll a d4.
D4. Two.
I think Wilmer's having D&D Beyond connection issues. 3.
Yeah. 3.
Uh,
I'm unsyncing the dice rolls.
yeah, actually, I haven't even seen anything because of that. I'm just gonna turn mine off too. All right, so yeah, with that, one more iron glob gets tossed up. I'm assuming at some point in time on this run, Wilmore taunts one of them again, and just quickly enough, one of them tosses an iron glob up, but misses Wilmore as he ducks under and keeps on running out. And you guys book it all the way out through this chamber and make it out to the next room. Unscathed from these fire giants in here for the most part.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I never added my +6 for my Hexblade curse, so I just added that to my health.
To your health, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I killed the guy.
Okay, so you guys can move on up to the end of the thing here as you guys push your ways through this set of doors into the next room.
Choo. You've made it to the next room, at least.
To the next room, at least, indeed. As you guys go, make your way in here, running on in here and busting down the doors. Go on, move your tokens. Good job. You guys can see on the north side, there's these 2 tunnels with some tracks that lead. Rail tracks running through these tunnels and into the mines. They end at the pair of wooden barriers. You see these 3 pillars in the middle of the room with black basalt, made of black basalt, supporting the ceiling. There's a bucket chain, of course, on the south side that has been passing all throughout the chambers. Of course, is no longer moving right now. You see 4 dwarves who are taking some of the iron and ore from the buckets or from the end of the rail tracks and shoveling it into the buckets and everything, but they're kind of confused by why the tracks and the carts seem to stop right now. But as you guys make your way in here, you guys can see that there's this scaly, tall fire salamander with this long beak and this long tail that squirms off the back of it, and he's holding this large spear in his hand, watching over these dwarves. Of course, notices all you guys as you guys make your way in here. And Fang. What's up?
I think my guy got deleted. I don't know where he went.
There you go.
Anyway.
Fang, as you guys make your way into this room, you see the salamander hiss at you and begin to point his javelin in your guys' direction. The mine entrances seem to be right to the north right there. There are 4 dwarves here that seem to be prisoners and slaves. What would you like to do?
So let me ask you this: are we still in combat?
Yeah, we'll take an initiative order right now.
Okay. Bonus action. Let me ask you this: if I can do this as a bonus action, can I hand a potion to Reggie?
You can do that as a free action.
Okay. Cool. Even better. So, I see Reggie standing right next to me, looking pretty beaten up. Here, Reggie, take this. It looks like you could really use it, buddy. And I hand him just a regular healing potion. And as I proceed to move right past him around that basalt pillar, and give that salamander a nice 2-handed swing with my quarterstaff.
All right, go for it.
$14.
14 just misses.
Hey, can I see something real quick? Because that was 2 3s in a row that I've done.
Please do.
Okay. It eventually changed, but
Just
Yeah.
want to notice it's never
It's-
320s in a row.
Yep.
uh,
All right.
but I will go ahead and swing again then.
Okay, go for it.
There we go, 28.
Oh yeah, that hits.
So 12 damage.
Okay.
Bonus action. As I finish that last swing, just give him a nice kick right in his little gut area. 19
That hits.
with 12 points of damage.
All right. Big old gut kick knocks him back a little bit. Slams into this wooden stopper here, and yeah. Anything else for you?
And then I just yell out, "Let's finish him off, boys, and then we can exit through the mines."
All right, Wilmore. You see, yeah, this salamander with the sinuous snake-like body and its glowing yellow eyes. What do you do?
I kind of scream out to like everyone in the room and just kind of go, "It's time to fight for your freedom, boys!" And I'll pull out my pipes and I hit him with the haunted pipes again and just kind of try to get like everyone in the room, just like even this like the slaves, just be like, "Fucking kill this guy."
Nice. All right, so this is a wisdom.
Wisdom
11 total.
15.
All right, so Wilmore pulls out those pipes, and this thing becomes frightened of him. His eyes, yellow, glowing eyes, go wide as this little man plays this spellbinding tune, and has caught him in a trance of absolute fright. Anything else for you?
I just kind of like skip down here, like past like the slaves, and I'm just like, "Fucking get him!" And then Sanity's gonna go in and poop on him, and give advantage to the next person that takes a swing.
All right. Reginald is up now. He's going to use his bonus action to take down that potion, which was a regular potion, or?
Yes, it was just a regular healing potion. And thank you, I forgot to remove one from my inventory.
Yes, so he gets 6 health back with that. Okay. As he chugs that down, and then he runs on up towards. He just grabs the king and he looks at you. Fang's like, "Look, I need to rescue the king, mate. We're heading for the mines." And he's going up here. He's just going to run as far as he can, and you know he's a bit weak. The king's weak, so he's just trying to hold his ground right there. Okay. The fire salamander is up now. Wilm, are you invisible right now, or should I change your picture?
You're muted.
That was an action, so I would have
Yeah,
came visible
cool.
again.
Gotcha.
I
All
can
right,
change it.
I gotcha. So salamander,
Miming.
he's kind of just like quivering right there, and he has his spear in his hand, shaking nervously, but he takes the spear and he tries to poke it at this monk in front of him. Oh, I rolled the same thing on both. 20 to hit. Let's see. Does 14 damage plus 4 fire damage.
In addition to
Oh, sorry. That yeah, that's fine. 14 regular damage, piercing damage, and 4 fire damage.
Okay.
And then he spins around and whips his tail towards you. Damn. 22
Yeah, that'll hit.
with disadvantage.
Hmm.
He rolled a 22 with disadvantage?
That's right.
Damn.
I rolled 17 and a 15 on the dice. 10 bludgeoning and 8 fire.
Yeah, so I'm down.
And with that fiery tail whip coming across Fang's body, sweeps him off his feet, and lights go out for good old Fang. Misa sees this, and in a panic, he begins just running, almost like his feet aren't even touching the ground. And he slides on over to Fang, and he goes and grabs in Fang's stuff a medical med kit real quick, and he heals you up with that med kit, Fang. Ba-ba-bum.
And then they make out.
He
Rub some more on him.
because he just be
He just rubs that med kit right on him.
he grabs your med kit to stabilize you, and you know,
Oh, he stabilized him all right.
God.
and
That,
must have been so good because he recovered you for 10 health because he does it the healer feat, and so when he uses a med kit, he can heal you with it. So
and he looks down on him and goes, I wish I knew how to quit you, Fang.
Love it.
Thank you, buddy. I owe you one.
you got it. And he looks over at Solrak and just never mind. Not gonna go there. Means is gonna end his turn there. Solrak, you're up.
All right. I'm going to put away my longbow, and I'm gonna badassly place my arms in the air and go here, and my demon sword and my one slayer shall appear. And I'm
Badass.
going to go attack this sumbitch. And bam, so I'm gonna run up to him. Right in between them. Say, why don't you pick on someone your own size, bitch? And then I swing.
Swing for it.
Sword.
Get advantage on that first one.
Oh, I do.
Because of
Thank God I do.
good old sanity. Oh yeah.
16.
16 hits. So
Yeah, buddy.
let's see, that's the 13 damage. And then
13 plus my fire damage is in there, so 17.
yes, and yeah, you notice that fire doesn't seem to burn him that much. In fact, as you slice through him, some of the heat radiating off of his body kind of explodes off of him and does 7 points of fire damage to you.
Oh shit. Okay. And I'm going to. I guess I'm gonna hit him again.
Go for it.
But it's not advantage anymore, right?
Correct.
Okay, 24.
Alright.
So 9 damage.
Alright.
Then I'll do one slayer after.
Okay, and again, some heat explodes off its body and does 7 points of damage to you.
Okay. One slayer. Why do I only see the damage for it though? I know there it is. Sorry about that. Uh, 18.
That hits, so 14 damage.
So 4. Yep.
Alright, very nice. Few slashes into its body. You see, you cut into its flesh, but again, the fire energy from the demon sword doesn't seem to affect it.
This one was one slayer.
Of course, yeah.
It's another fire. And I'm going to chug my last health potion.
That was your bonus action to do that third swing, so you're out
Okay,
of
so
out of fangs.
never mind.
All right,
Out of fangs. Okay.
Fang though, you're up, awakened again.
Yeah, so I regain consciousness, and I see this fire salamander right in front of me, who just kind of had his way with me, and so I kind of do like a I don't know what they call it, but like I pretty much bring myself up by
Nip up?
You know what I'm talking about?
Whoop.
Oh yeah.
I could probably do it if you want me to.
Like a young Shawn Michaels, baby.
Yeah.
As I do that, I kind of like double foot kick him on my way, like I'm swinging up.
Crouching tiger, hidden dragon, relax.
I love it. Go for it.
I love
Keep in mind, I am a monk.
It's true.
Oh, not 20. Fuck you, Carlos.
Oh,
That's
That's
awesome.
huge.
and then he did a backflip after.
That's awesome. So another the full damage
Okay,
off
so
that.
one would have been max damage, so plus, we'll do it. Says 15 damage.
Amazing. Amazing.
How much total?
15.
No, so you did the 12 damage on that, and then another max of a D6, right?
Wait on, and so is it max damage plus a 7, and then another?
Oh wait, that has your max in there. My bad. Or it has 2 dice rolls in there. My bad. I thought it was just 1 dice roll. So
Yeah. So I did 8 plus 2 plus 7.
so that 2 is a 6. So 9 plus 7
I'm sorry, 6.
is 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
16. Okay.
All right, very nice.
And then I
well,
got my quarter staff back with a nice baseball swing.
Yeah, you take 7 damage from the fire that explodes off his body as you do that, though. And did you roll?
That's cool with me, it was
28?
badass.
Nice.
28.
That hits.
You said 3 damage that I just took, right?
7.
Oh, I took 7 damage.
Correct.
Okay.
And you just
and
did
he
another
takes
15?
Yeah, and he takes another 15.
And that's exactly what he needed for Fang to knock him out. But actually, no, with the last one, you don't take the damage. So yeah, so he dies after you kick him across the chest a few times, knocking him back against this wood stopper where the mine carts kind of crash into from the mines. And these dwarves who have some shackles around their ankles, who are kind of shoveling this iron ore deposit from these the carts from the mines into the carts hanging on this line on the south. Look at you guys, quite happy, and of course, in Solrak, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. 23. 22, I mean.
Yeah. You actually recognize a couple of these dwarves, and now that you look over your shoulders with a 22 is a pretty high roll. Some of the humans that are here are people we recognize from Daggerford. And one of them, the humans, after you kind of look around for a moment, and there's everything's kind of settled down for the moment right now. You guys aren't just running around and fighting. Kind of goes up to you and says, "Excuse me, are you Solrak, the true king of Daggerford?"
I look down the slave. I remember seeing his face. But the fact that someone has recognized me as the true king of Daggerford adds so much validation to everything I'd been doing. It almost seems like a sign from above. So I very humbly respond, "Yes, friend. You look familiar from back in the days before Rubius.
Dark days
What's
now.
your name?"
Well, my name, call me Bran. I've been a part of a family that's been working for your family for quite some time now.
Uh-huh. And but you end up in this hellhole.
There was these people in these black cloaks and robes that came around to town, to Daggerford, and they started just packing us up and taking us in hordes, shipping us off away. And I mean, since that night that everything went to hell, Daggerford's been nothing but darkness.
What about the rest of your family? You know where they ended up?
We all got separated and just kind of pulled away to different places. But look, maybe if I'm so glad to see you. Everyone thought you were dead. We thought you were a goner forever, for good. But maybe we can discuss this more once we get out of here and we have a little bit more security and safety behind us.
That's right. Promise you, we'll talk about this again, Brown. Now let's go. But I pull out my last health potion and I chuck that down before we go anyway.
I love it. All right, you chug that down. And anything else you guys want to do right now? These dwarves obviously all come up to you guys. They each of them have a set of like manacles around their ankles, and they're just thankful to see you guys here to help them out. And says, "Are you guys here to, is this a jailbreak? You're busting us all out?"
That's right. That big son of a bitch Zalto is dead.
They all kind of look bewildered from that statement. Well, why are we wasting time then? Let's get going.
Are y'all sure you don't want to sit here and talk for a little bit longer?
But detect sarcasm.
Let's go.
All right. So you guys begin heading through the mines then. Let's see. Who's going to be leading the pack?
I'm kind of really hurt.
Suggest one of
I only
them.
have
Like
18
everybody's
health.
kind of really hurt right now.
Yeah.
Who's got the most life?
Don't the dwarves know more? Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? The slaves are leading the way.
Yeah. Bingo.
Okay. Well, here, someone that's, more battle worn and ready, come up here and with us, and we'll lead the way on out.
Look at everybody and I said, fine, I guess I'll do it.
All right. So with advantage, then, Solrak, go ahead.
I go there. They are your people, my friends.
Go ahead and roll a survival check, Solrak. With advantage.
Advantage?
Yes.
Whew. This baby. Fuck me. 21 and 18, so 21.
Okay. You guys begin running through the mines here then. It's, you guys are about 13 levels down from the top, so you guys have quite a labyrinth for you guys to work through. No worries. So you guys have, quite a labyrinth for you guys to have to work through. Each of these, tunnels are rough-hewn and about 20 foot in diameter. Just tall and wide enough for a fire giant to be able to make it through and navigate through it. You guys are going through and running through each one of these twists and turns. See, deposits of ore and different metals set up, dug out in different alcoves and areas. In Solrak, you lead your way about a third of the way through. I need you to do another survival check with advantage.
Okay. All
right, cool. Yeah, you just keep on pushing your way through with this dwarf leading you guys through each one of these twists and turns. The dwarf is kind of leaning up against the stone and trying to tell any bits of insight and knowledge that he can, because the dwarves have the stone cunning and knowledge from working with the minerals and underneath the earth for thousands and thousands of years. So he knows his way and can feel and smell and just tell from different locations in which they've been before and the elevation in which you guys are going. So you guys keep on going up these twists and turns, and you make it about another third of the way there. One more survival check with advantage to see if you guys make it out of here without any sort of trials or tribulations.
19.
19. Okay. Takes you guys a little bit longer to keep on going and pushing on through, and going through a left turn here, go about 100 feet down a hall, and then make a right turn, and then make a sharp, another really sharp turn, going almost like a full 180, and it feels like you guys are going the wrong way, but then eventually you make it to this large spiral staircase, and you can see the light shining from the top of the spiral staircase, and you guys just begin booking it up there until eventually you guys make it up this last two levels of flights of stairs up back towards the Yakfolk village. Can you guys see it right now?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay, it's black on mine. There we go. Cool. All right, so you guys are back up here, and yeah, I mean, you guys could possibly feel like you can hear while you guys were running through the mines and everything. It sounded like maybe there was a bit of you could hear some echoes behind you guys, but you guys made some pretty good speed and pace to get it out of here in time. That you're not too concerned about an immediate chase or threat immediately behind you guys, but it did sound like possibly that people, some of the minions or giants possibly were starting to make their way through the mines as well to locate you all.
I'm gonna go, gentlemen. Let's get going. But hold on a second. This contraption is made of wood, right?
All around it is like a iron band, but the platform itself was made out of wood.
What about like the shaft that goes from the
That's
water
metal.
wheel to the? That's metal.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should get going.
Yeah, iron.
Let's do it,
Alright.
boys.
As I'm running out, the first person, I guess, for his Cuomo.
So you're just going to go look for Cuomo?
Yeah, like where didn't
Brutus.
we just tell him to like wait right here?
Yeah, they went into the center with the moon elves, and yeah, they're in that center.
Okay, yeah, I see now. I just had to scroll down. Yeah, so I pretty much sprint to that center building,
Okay.
and locate Cuomo.
All right.
And I'm gonna follow to go get Brutus too.
Okay, so everyone goes trailing behind, running on up. The three moon elves are still situated inside the central pit with Brutus and Cuomo. Hogani, the female moon elf, says, "Oh, thank goodness you guys are back, and are you okay? You all look like you've been through hell and back."
Yeah, no,
You can say that again.
Well, I'm glad to see that you guys are okay and alive.
I obviously didn't hear that. As we're like walking out though, there's like stones up in this centerpiece. I'm just like, while everybody's doing their thing, I'm just blasting the stone and casting mold earth to kind of have it all cave in on itself.
All right. Hold on. What are you trying to? The hut in the center.
No, like the pathway out from where we just came. Like
Gotcha.
like where the door is and everything. I'm trying to like mold earth at the bottom to move the rocks and blasting them with Eldritch Blast, just trying to make it collapse
Okay.
in on itself.
How long do you want to spend doing this? Because if you want to make it so it's pretty effective, it's going to take you a little bit of time, but you do have a bunch of things following after you.
I mean, I'm sitting there for as long as it takes them to like get everybody.
Okay.
So maybe like 2 minutes,
Okay.
if that.
Sure.
While they're all debriefing, I'm just sitting there, just blasting in the background.
Sounds good. All right. So you guys do have a bunch of some of all the slaves obviously have followed up behind you guys. The humans and the gnomes, they all say their thank yous to all you guys, and most of the dwarves do too, except for 3 of the dwarves that Reginald knows from Citadel Felbar that were captured with the party, and then that were out here scouting the Yakfolk village and everything. So those 3 dwarves would stay, all the humans and everyone else would say their adieus. Solrak, as the humans are saying goodbye, did you want to speak to any of them or anything else about Daggerford or anything? Or
Yes. I'm gonna pull Bron aside.
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask him to get me all the Daggerford people together.
okay, so yeah, about 3 humans and 3 dwarves about all come together, and yeah, you recognize one of the dwarves and that one human, but you don't really recognize the other faces.
So it's good. Hey, Bron. So what's your plan from here?
Well, that's it's a good question. We're quite a travel away from Daggerford right now, but I think the plan is just get out of here and be safe, and just get us as far away from this place as we possibly can.
What are you doing to track down your family? I know this is sudden. Is that in your plans?
I mean, I'm gonna do everything I can. I guess first thing to do is hopefully see if they're back home, back in Daggerford. But if they're not there, I guess maybe start asking around anyone who knows about their whereabouts. I mean, it's the only place I have to start.
So this is what we're gonna do, my friend. I suggest not to return home to Daggerford yet. have a feeling if you do, you will be captured and questioned as to why you're not here. Who knows what that son of a bitch Rubius will do to you. So I'm gonna give you guys, and I take out 500 of my. Actually, yeah, I take 500 gold pieces, and I'm gonna give it to him. Take this for now. Hide. Make sure you do me a favor. Send word. Daggerford. Send word with anybody who you trust. Keep your location secret. You let them know that Solrak lives. Not only does he live, he breathes nothing but vengeance every single day and night. And he will not stop until Rubius rots on the ground, even if I have to go with him to hell. Let Rubius know I'm coming here. Do that for me.
Solrak, if I make it back there and I have the chance to do so, I absolutely will. And I'll spread the word that Solrak, the true king, he's alive. He's out there. And we need you back, Solrak. We need you to come back and take back that throne.
Well, my friend, I promise. I do. I will make sure everything is yours is returned to you. That your family's returned safely. And you will be compensated fairly for everything that you've lost. Until then, stay out of sight. Be safe. And not him. Ready to go?
Thank you. So he like gets down on one knee and like kind of bows to you slightly. Thank you, Solrak. Solrak, the true king. I'm gonna spread your word, and I will see you back in Daggerford one day. And I can't wait to see you sitting on that Iron Throne once again.
Thank you, my friend. God will it. Make sure you share the gold with these others. First thing you gotta do, get something to eat here.
Gotta find a nice tavern and get some ale and, oh man, something big and strong. Just like, you used to always drink around the taverns in Daggerford.
Not much has changed, my friend.
I believe it. Well,
be safe.
Thank you, Solrak. And he just turns around and they all begin just running off down the stairs and down the mountain and everything.
I turn back and then I say hi to Brutus. Belly rubs. Then go meet with the guys.
Yeah.
I'm just blasting. I'm like, we should go, guys. Blasting everything.
Fang, the Moon Elves would say to you, is it okay if, we come with you all? Would you all be willing to take us back to the Moonwoods?
Come with us. We don't have much time. They are hot on our trail, and we will do the best we can to get you back to wherever you need to be.
Okay. Wilmore, as you're blasting and you yell back to them, you look up to the sky suddenly as you see this strange vehicle hanging in the sky overhead. And it begins slowly drifting closer and closer to you all. It looks like a small ship with like sleigh runners on the bottom of it, held aloft by like a giant red balloon.
Red balloon? Is this a familiar balloon?
It doesn't look familiar to you guys, no. And this ship just begins to slowly descend as it makes its way over above you guys.
I'm
And
gonna just point up there and cast a message at. I'm just gonna point, be like, "What the hell's going on?"
to the ship.
Yeah, just to the ship, just randomly,
Yeah.
just casting message, see if anything
Yeah.
hits.
What's the range on it? It's only like 60 feet, right?
I think it's 120 feet.
Yeah, it might be. But yeah, their ship begins to slowly descend, and Wilmore keeps on trying to send these messages. And as it kind of just floats in the air above the ground there, you guys can see two 50-foot long rope ladders get tossed over the sides of the ship. And over the edge of it, you guys can see... Whoopsies. Clicked the wrong thing. You can see these like a man with a black leather mask and a black cloak on, kind of look down across the edge, and after he throws this one of the ladders down and then another one across, and Wilmore eventually, after you're sending these messages up, you get a reply back. As it gets within the range, you hear a voice in your head say, "We come to you on behalf of Klauth, the great dragon of the north. Klauth offers you this vessel and our services as a gift, so that you may cross his vast dominion while avoiding the many perils of the land below. War against the giants is inevitable, but the great dragon commands you forge ahead and face your destinies."
I just go, any of y'all heard of a Klaus? Scream that out.
Ooh,
Chaddington, I have.
Well, apparently that's from him. Shall we?
Yes, he's the old dragon that lives up north.
All right. Well, if he's a friend of yours, he's a friend of mine. Let's get scat scoot.
Not really a friend of mine, but I will not argue with this little gift he has provided with us.
All right. Well, maybe we could talk to him later about better gifts.
Yeah, and we can talk more later. Let's just everyone hop on quickly and get the hell out of here.
Okay. So the 50-foot ladders have been tossed down towards you guys. You can either begin to grab onto one of them and climb up it, or
I'm gonna put Brutus around my neck, kind of like he's like like a big what's it called? Like a big scarf, a big dog scarf, and I'll climb up.
What is it?
Carefully.
A scarf, yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Cuomo, give the elves some assistance up there, please. As so he scoops up two of the elves. I'm climbing up. He's making some rounds so that we can get all on the ship as quickly as possible.
Love it. Wilmore?
I just scramble right on up there.
Alright, scramble up the ladder quickly as you can, and you guys make your way up that ladder, and one of the members that you guys can see wearing this black leather mask and black robe, begins to pull on a lever on the back side of the ship, and you guys begin to ascend as you hear a gate open up and something begin to whirl and make some loud noise within the chamber, and you guys, it inflates the balloon once more. You guys begin to take to the sky.
As soon as we're safe, it literally collapsed on the ground. Jesus, this is the first time I've been taken down in combat before. Barely made it out of this one. I'm exhausted, and I just start deliriously laughing. It's out of the top of my the top of my lungs, just laughing that I can't believe we're alive.
What time of day is it at the moment?
At this time now, you guys are looking at early, 5 o'clock-ish. 6-ish, 5-ish, yeah. At night, that is.
Is there one person in the group of the 5 figures that seems like is, I guess, the captain or the most important?
Yeah, make a perception check.
$16.
Yeah, it would seem that the one, as you guys have all climbed on yet, no one has really said anything to you. Everyone seems quite humorless, compared to your party, and no one has really been saying anything except for attending to their jobs, pulling up the rope ladders, opening up that hatch so you guys can begin moving. And then there's the man behind the wheel who seems to have the most control over the situation and everything, and that's who you would imagine is the one that is the leader.
I go and approach him with a health potion in the hand, kind of just sipping on it.
Casual.
And yeah, nonchalant. I approach him and say, so you say Klaus sent you?
Correct. Old Snarl. our master.
So that's how I know him. Now, how did he find out?
Well, do not dabble in too many of old Snarl's going-ons, but he likes to scry on those, and especially he's been watching the giants fumble over themselves for the last few months and fight over who will be the most powerful giant lord of them all and who will take Hecaton's spots in the top of the ordning. Klaus has quite a laugh with it all, to be honest, but has noticed you all quite powerful. Going out here and go into Svardborg and take the conch from right under y'all's nose without even being detected so much, and of course going out with a boom. Snarl would like that one. And of course, the fact that you all came here to Iron Slag, and on the way he sent a test to you all to see how powerful you really were. A young red dragon that you all fought one night. Seeing you
Thought
all...
he might have had something to do with that one.
Yes, he likes to see how, his potential allies might be able to handle certain circumstances. And seeing that you all took out that red dragon without a blink of an eye, well, he wanted to see what else you were capable of, seeing that you were all on your way to deal with one of the most heinous and atrocious fire giant lords of them all, Duke Zalto. And lo and behold, you all come out of Iron Slag with your lives, and once again, with one of the giant lord's conchs. Now, Klaus is obviously...
Conchs?
Yes. I've been taking too many Duolingos classes.
There are two.
Yes. But as I mentioned, I do not dabble too deeply into Klaus, what's going on in his life, but yeah, as mentioned, he's quite what's the word I shall use? Bewildered and amused by the strength and cunning you all show.
So Snarls really had eyes on us for quite some time, and we had never noticed.
It's the way of the oldest dragon.
And we are pretty powerful, by the way. I say from the floor as I lay there motionless. I left my arms anymore. I've never seen power like this before.
Yes, but I do notice, and I must say that you've I don't recognize a few of these members that have come with you all.
Yes, those elves we just rescued from the Yakfolk village. They were locked up, enslaved, and we rescued them.
How very noble of you. Well, would you all be taking them back to where they belong then?
Yeah, I was actually going to be following up with that shortly. Just wanted to see kind of what was going on with this whole jaunt here. But yes, our plan is eventually to make sure that they get back to their village safely.
Very kind of you. Well, where is their village? Maybe we can set sail and start heading yonder.
Their village. Elves, where are we going again?
Halani would chime in. It's the Moonwoods. It's just west of the Mount Hammerhast here.
Yes, you heard the elf. The
Yes.
Moonwoods.
You see the leader who introduced himself to you. And by the way, my name is Delsafini.
Elsafani? You probably
Yes.
already know my name, but I'm Fang.
Yes, Fang. We are aware of you. This is we have Laz here, Nizroth over here. Down over by the Ballista on the north side, we have Brassic and Oriscus.
Raise my two fingers as high, as much as I can. Hey, from the ground.
Oh, well, before that happens, I just casually walk up to the guy on the ballista and go, hey Frank, where are we going? And Sanity just kind of sits on his head.
wherever you all would like to go, we are at your control right now. At your command.
Well, that is quite nice. Thanks, Frankie. I tap him on the butt, and I just kind of go laugh with Soul Rack.
Doesn't seem to, like, notice or pay any mind to you naming him in any sort of way. Seems like they're very docile right now.
Cool.
So, to the Moonwood, that is, then.
Yes, I suppose that we can make that our first stop there.
How long of a travel is that, my friends? Yeah, except from the floor.
Looks down over the wheel down at you. Less than a day's travel altogether. Should be half to a 3/4 day travel. You all look like you have seen some quite some battle within the heart of Ironslag. Why don't you get some rest while we take control of things here?
You don't have to tell me twice.
Yeah, I thought
Makes
you'd
you
never
ask.
ask.
To rest we go.
So he would lead you guys. He would begin to lead you guys down to. There's different chambers underneath the lower deck, of course. I will expose that for you. Bum, bum, bum. So if you guys scroll over to the right side now, you guys can see the lower deck. He would begin to show you all around to each one of the quarters and the rooms. You feel free to take whichever room seems to call your name, if you will. I apologize for the propeller hatch. Makes a bit of a buzz and noise sometimes down here as we're up on these higher altitudes, but never the mind. I believe that you'll be able to find some comfort and a shut-eye down here, if you will.
I interrupt and I go, dibs on this one, and I pick the farthest away from the projector, from the front.
Love it. Yeah, so each of these cabins, they each have like a door that can be bolted shut from the inside. And of course, you can see like there's a hammock and a desk and a footlocker inside of each one of them. There's actually like writing materials and everything inside there that some of the men on the ship seem to take notes or write some stuff down with. And there are portholes for windows in each one of these rooms as well that look out. And each desk also has a set of dragon chess and a set of playing cards, if you ever get bored.
Nice. I'm honestly way too tired to pay mind to anything at the moment, so I just collapse on the bed and go like this. So Brutus jumps up, and we literally just snuggle up and we crash.
Love it. Wilmer, anything for you? You just going to sleep?
I guess first I would look around the desk, see if there's anything written on any of the papers, and then I'd find a pen and write my own paper a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, you kind of look around and everything, and it doesn't seem like there's any scribbled notes or anything anywhere within the desk or anything like that.
All right, yeah, then I just kind of write my note for a little bit and then go to bed.
All right. Fang, did you want to do anything before hitting the hay?
Yeah, actually. I am okay. So I'm going to light an incense to help me become at ease, help me relax a little bit as I meditate from what was just an extremely stressful and really stressful day. So I burn an incense. I begin to meditate. After I take that time to meditate, I pull the 6 different colored rings, giant rings that I took, and I begin to kind of like examine them, study them, see if I can find out any more information about them upon observing them.
Sure thing. Make an investigation roll.
Well,
12. So yeah, you're checking them out, and these are the rings that you got from Duke Zalto's room, correct?
correct.
Yeah. So you're checking them out, and beautiful work, definitely amazing craftsmanship and artistry. Doesn't seem to you to have any sort of arcane or magic powers or aura or energy or anything like that, but seems very nice and valuable.
Um, okay. Yeah. So I guess after doing that, I go ahead and lay down. Uh, today was a stressful day, after meditating, and just reflecting a little bit, I know I mentioned earlier that uh, I do feel the void inside of me with of my father's death, uh, feeling rather filled, and it's one less thing that I can worry about, and I kind of start to tear up a little bit as I miss him, but almost like tears of joy now, knowing that I've been able to take down the one who was in charge of leading the raid, taking over our village and killing him. And I go to sleep on a pretty positive note.
Love it. Love it. Anything else anyone else wants to do before you attempt a long rest?
I guess
If
before I
it's
do that, I'd go back into my bag of holding and pull out the black cloak that I got, and just kind of look over it for any insignia or mainly see if it's like Xantarum or anything like that.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation roll as you look over that cloak that you pulled off of the one drow mage.
Is that 13?
That's what it looks like to me. So yeah, you're looking it over, and like I mentioned before, it's a fine black cloak embroidered with webs made of platinum threading. Very elegant and nice looking stuff. As you're looking it over, you're looking for like a Zentarum insignia or anything like that. You get to inside a seam where there is an insignia there, but it's not of a Zentarum sigil or symbol or anything like that that you've seen before. It's a bit of a stranger looking sigil, one that you don't quite recognize. Let me see if this will send to the game log. Nope. Let me send it to our chat, our Discord. It's almost like a crescent moon with the crescent opening at the top, and then there's like almost like a lightning. It's just like an arcane sigil. It's hard to describe totally, but yeah, that's what you see on the inside of the cloak there.
I would kind of look at that and it would kind of actually stun me a little bit that it's not anything that I've seen before. I'd actually go outside and talk to the workers of the ship and just be like, any of y'all seen this before?
Yeah, you go up and speak to possibly the captain, and oh yes, that is that is a a sigil of the third Drow House of Menzoberranzan, House Zorlaren. And they have been considered the most magical house of Menzoberranzan.
Those salty dogs. I guess that's where they got this. And I kind of pull out what I believe to be Megara. I just kind of like look at the guy's reaction to see if anything happens.
You pulled out the flask, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that House Zorlaren once held onto Gontelgrim for a bit of time, the drow and the dwarves have been fighting over the ownership for many years now, and of the man that you have on board here, King Reginald Roundshield, he's cleared out the drow from Gauntlgrim a few times and reclaimed it as his own.
Well, I guess that is good to know, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you. I am gonna go take a little nap though. It's been a long day.
Certainly, certainly. So you guys all go find some shut-eye then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There comes a moment, Fang, where you're looking out the window and you see a comet, a large ball of fire falling from the sky and crashing into the planet, into the mainlands. A huge impact engulfs all around, and suddenly darkness begins to spread and loom all across the Sword Coast and Faerun. Then you guys all wake up from your long rest.
Where did that did I see the general like area of where it had crashed?
It was in your dream. It was actually a dream. You thought you were looking out a window. But yeah. But pretty much you see in this dream, as I mentioned, a comet falls from the sky, crashing into the planet, and darkness looms and spreads all across the land there. And with that darkness, you get this deep, like, feeling in your chest, like a pit. But yeah, you guys can all take that long rest if you want, regain those hit points and all your abilities and everything.
God.
Well, go back up and see if there's anything to eat upstairs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna see in the room if there's anything like a washcloth and water or something I can wipe my face off a little bit, attempt to clean up, and then go up.
Yeah, you look around and there's a water skin that you can use, and there is a like a old linen that you could possibly use to wipe off with, but not too much in terms of like actual bathing stuff, of course.
Yeah, I'll do that and kind of do every guy knows the zones you got to do in a quick time like this. You do the pits, you do the face, but face first, then pits, then the bolas. Okay, in that order. Face. You don't wanna go balls first though, else you just ruin the whole washcloth. And then your face, got a face full of balls. Okay, so you want to start with the face.
You don't know who's attracted to this pheromone, so start with the face. Don't bring the balls up here. Alright, so you guys all begin to wake up. Silrak begins to wash himself off a little bit. Wilmore, you go upstairs to see if you can grab some food. Fang, as you wake up as well, anything that you're doing?
Yeah, I wake up from that. Oh, I don't think I called a nightmare, but it certainly was a slightly unsettling dream that I had. Something doesn't feel fully right. After waking up from what my head was kind of going through last night, but I can't put my finger to what it could possibly be. I kind of just try and shrug it off as if pretty much never had this dream. Clean myself up just a little bit, and go upstairs to regroup with the rest of the gang. And I actually approached the captain with the rings that I was trying to study last night, and I asked him, I feel like there's more to these rings than what my eyes actually can see. Do you know what these are capable of doing? Do they mean something? Because it seems like you know quite a lot about us. I can't imagine you not knowing maybe a little bit about this.
Well, I know what Old Snarl allows me to know, but yeah, from glancing over at it, they look beautiful. They look very well made and very fine crystal stones set within them. Uh, don't seem to be. If you're asking me if there's magic to them, I don't seem to gather that innately.
And I know this is probably a little too much for me to be asking, but is Snarl, who does Snarl have alliances with to be able to have all these eyes everywhere? Because I know he can't be in all places at once,
No,
as far as I know.
a dragon as old as Clouth has the capabilities and arcane powers to be able to see in many places at once.
Interesting.
Uh,
Maybe I don't know enough about Snarl.
I'm sorry.
Said maybe I don't know enough about Snarl. Perhaps he's seen us and what we're capable of doing. Um, he wouldn't be opposed to maybe a visit, would he?
Oh, I should ask the old Snarl, but it's we could possibly work that out at some point in time. As I mentioned, Clouth wants you all to have this airship at your command, and you can fly it around and tell us where you'd like to be taken to, and we'll do so willingly, of course, and happily. And if you so would wish to make your ways there to Cloudland Vale one day, you let me know. I'll send the message, send the word to Clouth, and we'll see if we can arrange such a thing.
Hmm.
So I'm hearing, as I'm coming up the stairs, I'm hearing him say that we can take the ship to wherever we want. To say, well, I do think my buddy Fang will agree. We could use some supplies. But we spent all of our essential supplies, such as health potions in battle. Could be a stop that would be useful for us here,
Certainly, we
if
could
you don't mind.
make our way to whichever settlement, city, village, town, wherever your little heart desires.
Hear that and kind of look over at the elves and be like, does y'all's town have some goods and services if you fine folk will let us?
We could certainly probably arrange some sort of agreement if you want. It's not really a public place. It's our own village of Moonells, and it's a sort of tribe, if you will. But we do, of course, have our own trading system and our, way that we exchange goods.
Well, I feel like it could be maybe the least that you guys could do, given the fact that we did save you.
Certainly, I couldn't agree more.
Let's settle then.
Okay. The captain would look around and be like, well, we are quite close to the Moonwood now. Should be less than 2 hours travel, and then we make our descent. When we do descend, I would like to ask that, of course, maybe you all lead these fine moon elves down to the land, and we will hover above, and when the time is right, Wilmer, your name was correct, you could do that thing where you send a message again, and we'll come right on back down.
I'll always do that thing, my friend.
It's a special thing.
It's quite nice thing.
Indeed. So, guys, they are eating like a little bit of like food, like it's all like rations, dry food. It's nothing special or anything. So they would break some apart for you guys if you wanted any. But yeah.
I'd actually ask him. I see you guys eating these fine rashes. If you could eat one thing, my friend, what would it be?
One thing. Oh wow. It's a great question.
Or 2 things, or 3 things, or 4 things, or something.
Let's see. Have you ever had knucklehead trout?
I think I have. It is quite
Alright.
good.
Delicious. Good choice.
There's a little bar in Bryn Chandir that smokes it. It's fantastic.
We're familiar.
You're
I
familiar.
think I am quite
We're
familiar.
One of a kind.
And we had our way with some smoked knucklehead trout.
We almost put him out of business. Ate so much of it. Yeah.
And
It's impressive.
Chaddington over here had its way with old Bitey here.
Oh, I remember old Bitey. It's the old knucklehead trout on the wall, right? Does a little song and dance and
That's the
all
one.
fun stuff.
Bit off a little bit more than he could chew.
Well, with a little fellow like yourself, that's quite a task, isn't it?
It was. It's like 40% of my body weight, but you know.
Day goes on with the travel. Was there anything else that you guys want to do in this 2 hours before you make your descent down?
Probably like
Yeah.
spit off the side of the ship once or twice.
I believe it. Fang, you said you were going to say something?
Yeah. So I am going to
Hold on 1 second. I love this background music right now.
It is good.
It's very
It's
tribal
smooth,
and
man.
dope, yeah. Luke's trying to hear it.
Yeah, I had to turn off the country music. I got my overalls too.
Love it.
No, so I wanted to actually, I'm sorry, unattune from my wolf bite ring,
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Ooh.
and yeah, we'll see how this goes. Actually, you know what? I lied. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do anything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Homer,
for
you
2
gonna do
hours,
something?
I'm taking off the belt, putting on the slippers.
Cool. All right. So you guys see one of the members here wearing the leather mask goes up to the narrow hatch in the front of the furnace in the center with these small grill holes in it. He pulls a lever on it. You guys begin to keep on sailing on. And the captain, you know, with the wheels turning the way and leading you guys to where you need to be going. You guys take the time to do the things that you need to do within that 2 hours, and you guys, over this whole flight, you guys are kind of hovering over a massive set of green, lush emerald woods underneath of you, and you know, behind you guys is the snow-capped mountains in which you're leaving from the ice spires in Mount Hammerhast. And you get about to a point where the captain says, well, the moonwoods are, you know, just about yonder over there, and he points over, and you guys can see this clearing with within the lush green woods of there's a icy waterfall coming off of one of the mountains, and there's like these treetop village where all these like wooden planks and bridges go across from treetop to treetop and create like kind of like a nice like elven village there. And he looks over and he's like, well, there's a clearing over by this waterfall. Why don't we go descend a little bit here and throw down the rope ladders for you all and make your way.
That sounds fantastic to me, Admiral.
All right. So the guy in the center with with that furnace in the center of the deck here, begins to turn a latch to let some of that heat simmer down a little bit, and you guys begin to descend as you make your way down to that landing into the woods right by this icy waterfall I mentioned. Don't have a map set up for this, so, you know, theater of mind, we're going to go for it. So the ladders get tossed over the edge, and Helani looks over and says, well, I guess gentlemen first, or should I go ladies first, right? I'll go first. And she hops over the ledge and grabs the rope ladder and begins climbing on down. And, yeah, Misa goes following after her. Anyone else go following after them?
I walk down with my shoes
Hilarious.
on the rope. But it's like constantly spinning because I have to like have one foot and then find the rope.
The captain looks down. Strange trick. But you guys all make your way down then now at this point, right? to the like kind of icy waterfall in the heart of the forest.
Mhm.
All right. Helani would look around and say, "Well, this is a a good spot for us to maybe try to call some of the elders over here if we want, and meet up. And if you want to exchange, you said you wanted, what was it, some potions that you wanted and some things."
Right.
We would love some, just a couple potions if you have to hold us off in case we, have to save another bunch of elves somehow. I shoot her a wink.
All right. Well, certainly. We can make that happen then. You see her kind of like go inwards, and it seems like she's like doing some sort of like sending spell or something like that. She starts whispering to herself, and after she's done, kind of muttering to herself for a bit. Okay. Some of the elders are gonna be coming on over here to meet us up with us, and trade you all with some of the goods that you're asking for. And so, a couple minutes go by. You guys are looking around the lush, beautiful scene around you. As mentioned, it's like a bunch of like beautiful green treetops around, bushes. See like a couple of little bunnies running behind the trees. Wilmer looks over his shoulder for a second as he's watching them, very intently. These bunnies, and then they kind of just hop away, and then this icy waterfall is very picturesque. There's a bridge that kind of goes over, expands over them, and then there's a bridge that kind of looks like it goes into the waterfall. And she leads you guys up to this bridge. And says, "All right, follow me, guys." And you guys begin walking on this bridge that is heading into the icy waterfall, and it's a solid sheet of ice. And you see her just keep on walking across this bridge, and then she hits that icy waterfall, and then a blue light just emerges, and she just disappears and vanishes into that waterfall.
Follow, guys.
Yeah, you see.
I mean, that does look fun.
The two other moon elves behind look over their shoulders at you guys and kind of gesture along as they both trot and disappear into that icy waterfall as well.
I don't want to get wet, but damn it, fine. And I cross.
Love it.
Follow.
Okay. All right. As you guys follow across there and make your way in there, it becomes like a small kind of chamber with a hall, like a rough hewn hall that goes out straight towards, like past, like if you were to keep on walking down the bridge, it keeps on going down there, but it has this beautiful blue glowing light that is shining at the end of there. And you guys are waiting there for a couple of moments, and then out of that glowing blue ethereal light comes these 6 moon elves, scouts that just kind of wander through there, standing tall and proud, and each of them bearing gifts. And they look around at each one of you guys and say, "We of the Moon Elf tribe of Moonwood, we thank you for returning our beloved Halani, noble of the Moonwood family. We greatly appreciate the trials, tribulations, and great efforts that you have made to return her here safely. She has mentioned that you all would like some sort of gifts in return. Is that correct?"
Well, I wouldn't call them gifts, but I could really use some health potions for future battles.
Certainly.
We have a very dangerous journey ahead of us here.
Certainly. Why does everyone roll me 2 D100s? Roll each one of them separately.
I'm upstairs. Can somebody roll? Can you roll 2 for me, Nate?
No, you just don't get it. It's fine.
Oh, please.
I gotcha.
Getting a gummy worm.
It better be one that makes you fun.
No.
All right. That's fun.
19 and 26. Good year.
19 and 26, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Fang, the first moon elf, hands over to you a couple of gifts that is bestowing in their hands. Here, this is a greater healing potion. Of course, it'll heal you up nicely in case you're hurt in battle at some point in time. And this one here is it can bring some shock and awe to a battle. If you are feeling a bit intimidated, as I imagined you all you rescue Halani here from some Yak folks who live above a fire giant stronghold. This potion here can make you grow up to almost the size of a giant itself, and hands you a potion of growth. Solrak, what was it, a 5 and an 82?
That's right.
You also, next one hands you a greater healing potion as well. And then also has this, roll a d4 for me real quick.
Three.
Okay. Hands you this red gemstone in his hands and says, and you can feel like this warmth and kind of like radiating energy writhing from it. And says, when you absolutely need to, you can take this stone. Be careful with it, as he hands it to you very gently. You can take this and shatter the gem, breaking it. And an elemental spirit which is bound within this gem will emerge and battle alongside with you, in case you ever need it. And this red gem here, it's a fire elemental held within inside of it.
Oh,
That's pretty badass.
awesome.
You got a fire elemental.
Thank you.
Wilmer, go ahead and roll yours. I rolled them, but I don't want to be your seal your destiny.
Is it called Ring of Fire Elemental?
It is just it's gem, elemental gem, elemental gem, elemental gem.
You said there's emerald, there's red corundum, black, blue sapphire.
You got
and yellow
red.
diamond. Red.
You got fire, which is perfect for soul wreck.
Fire.
Fire,
7.
fire, butthead, fire.
Yeah, shut up, butthead. Yeah.
57. Okay.
Yeah, we're rolling.
First thing that he hands you, Wilmore, is a 56 also. Let's see. Let me go in a different chart for this one. Okay, first thing he hands you, Wilmore, is a spell scroll, and roll a d20 for me real quick.
Come on. There you go.
19.
Go.
Alright, let me filter this real quick. So he hands you a spell scroll. Is there only a... There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that's not second level. Sorry, my computer's taking a little bit of time to... Alright, so he hands you a spell scroll, and on it reads the arcane words and phrases for you to perform the Phantasmal Force spell.
That's level 4, right?
It's level 2.
Level 2.
Yes. And then a 56 was the other one. Hands you a potion that has kind of like a purple, kind of syrupy liquid look to it. Looks like there's almost like liquefied iron sitting in the bottom of it. Actually, not iron. That's a different kind of potion. But yeah, no. He hands you a potion of heroism.
Perfect.
Yeah. Kind of steams and boils this blue liquid inside this vial. And they look over at all three of you and say, again, we of the Moonwood tribe, we thank you all for what you have done to return Halani, our noble child, back here to the Moonwood safely. And we hope that these are enough in a trade for doing so, correct?
What you have given us.
For me.
We appreciate it. And Halani begins to approach them, and they kind of like put armor. One of them puts an arm around her, and they all look back at you guys and say, "Again, we thank you all for your help here, and the spirits of the Moonwoods will bestow you with a great gift as well. And they turn around and they vanish into that blue light, disappearing again. And that portal, which seems to stand there, turns to black and disappears. And where once was like a hallway into that ethereal blue light is now just a solid wall.
Whoa, I feel like I'm smoking that magical stuff again with what's his face? Opie. Miss that guy.
That was an interesting way to exit. But I guess
Pretty cool exit. You gotta give it to him. That's kind of wish I could do that myself. Just exit that way everywhere.
Yeah, but you can't. So
You guys
should we walk out?
suddenly hear this ethereal, angelic sound kind of emitting all around you guys. And this voice kind of coming up slowly and gently behind that angelic, almost like trumpets, angelic trumpeteers playing, says to you all...
Beyonce?
No, it's Lizzo with the crystal flute. Says, the spirits of the Moonwoods bestow upon you all a charm to help you with your task at hand and your future endeavors. You may choose one or the other. Dragon Slayer, or are you a Giant Slayer?
Is it asking all of us?
Yep, each one of you get the answer.
What's the first thing before Giant Slayer?
Are you a Dragon Slayer, or are you a Giant Slayer?
Ooh, well, and I pull out my sword. I think there's only one answer for that here. Giant Slayer!
Okay.
Giant Slayer.
I mean, I guess I am the only one that killed a dragon all by himself.
All right. So the spirit, that voice, with still that angelic sound ringing behind it, says, "You may choose one of the weapons on your possession, and for the next 10 day, that weapon will be bestowed with extra powers against the enemy type that you have chosen." So for the next 10 days, one weapon of your guys' choice each becomes a Giant Slayer or Dragon Slayer. You get a +1 bonus, and if it's a Giant or Dragon, whichever one that you choose, that you attack, it gets an extra 2d6 damage and has to make the DC 15 strength saving throw or fall prone, like Soul Rex Dragon Slayer.
Sweet.
Or-
So in
or
my
Giant
case,
Slayer.
I would get 4d6.
Um,
Like if I add it to my Giant Slayer?
Let me see. Yeah, sure. Fuck it. I'll let you stack it.
Fuck it.
Ooh, well, that's what
Can
I'm
I
gonna do.
put it on my Eldritch Wand, and then my Eldritch Blast will have it, or no?
Sure. It's cool. It's what Wilmer would want.
Yeah,
So yeah.
never.
Sure, love it. That's true. So I'll do Eldritch Wand Dragon Slayer.
Fang, I'm guessing your staff. Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
So I'll go ahead and send you guys like what the.
Yeah, I'll say, how do we mark that on our...
I might have to make a custom weapon for you guys. For the time being, but once if you guys fight a giant or a dragon before then, we'll just we'll make it up. We'll have to do it as we go. So Luke, you just want 15 more minutes to play? Is that what I gathered?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's do it. That's fine.
All right. So you guys are bestowed these gifts from this spirit of the Moonwood Forest. And the icy curtain of the waterfall spreads and opens up for you guys to be able to exit out of.
I kind of walk out to you, gentlemen. Shall we head back to the ship?
Yeah, but before we do, and I'm actually gonna take a minute and like step into the waterfall and kind of use it as a shower for a second.
Well,
Suck all the blood.
you're very disappointed as you go to do so, and none of that water is flowing. It is solid. as ice. So
Ah.
no water to rinse yourself off with,
2
unfortunately.
minutes.
Yeah. I'd imagine that once you guys get out of here, Wilmer would send a message up to the
Yep.
ship. Cool.
Yep.
The ship comes hovering back over. There's rope ladders tossed over the edge to have you guys begin to ascend back up if you'd like.
Let's do
Yes,
it.
we would like.
Beautiful.
I go.
All right. So you guys climb back up there and all make it up there safely. And the leader of this group here would look over at everyone and says, "Well, how did that go for you all?"
It was great. That
Pretty
was
much.
I'd give it a 6 out of 10.
Not a bad rating. Not a bad
He's
rating.
always hard to please, anyways.
That's
Or
right.
56 out of 100.
Touche.
Well, I'm no mathematician, but I believe it would be 60 out of 100, right?
Shh. Shh. Put my finger to his lips.
Sure. All right. Well, with that taken care of now, what's next on the docket, gentlemen?
Well, yeah, I look over actually. Let me see. Believe there's still a matter of friend the king. Look over at him.
Yes.
Yeah, how you feeling, by the way, Kingy?
Getting out of Ironslag and Duke Zalto's rafts, it's feeling much better now, but, getting a bit of rest up here and seeing the sights from up here. I've been underground most of my life. I've never seen the Faerun like this. It's quite magnificent. But I do long to be back on the ground with my feet on the ground and back home, ruling where I should be. And speaking of, I wonder what everyone thinks of with me gone, missing.
How did you go about to become missing? Let me asking, Your Highness.
You see, mate, I was out on a raid, a hunting trip to scout for some orcs and, any verbeegs in the area with a group of my guards, my dwarves with me, and we were out there and we got ambushed by a couple of Yak folk and some drow. And the Yak folk, they slaughtered a few of my men, and I watched them do this terrible thing where they skin crawled into their bodies, and they looked like they were my men themselves, and it looks like they were marching back towards the Citadel Felbar like that as they were dragging me away. And, I'm not sure exactly what happened from there, but I can only imagine, with these Yak folk being able to do the skin crawling terrible thing, they might be able to pull off some sort of scheme that, the folk of Citadel Felbar may not even know I'm missing.
That's right. Those are some evil creatures.
Adbar, rather. I'm sorry, not Felbar. But yes.
So it's probably wise that we get you back as fast as possible. Who knows what they've been doing in the time you've been gone.
I think that's a good idea.
If you guys don't mind, I would love to get heading over to Adbar and make sure everything is all is right over there again.
Let's do it. It's fine by me. We can, if you don't mind, and I look over to the captain. We would like to return the king.
What's... No, hold on just 1 second. Now, what's closer, though? Is Felbar closer or Adbar?
The leader would look over at you guys currently and say, well, right now I would say we're a bit closer to Citadel Felbar currently. Adbar is a little bit further east, but, if you all... What's the total... excuse me. What is the total plan here? What is your route? Because maybe we can plan it that way. If we want to start east and then make our way west, we could do that.
Well, because we do have to go back to King Morn and Queen Tittle.
Sure thing.
In Felbar.
Yes, we're not too far from there. Currently, it'd be another day's travel about.
So
we could make it to Adbar in 2 days about.
it doesn't really matter to me which one we do first, but
Certainly.
I guess
I get King Harneth would chime in right now. Well, if it's not too much of a matter to you, I'd like to get back home first so I can make sure my throne is taken care of and all my people are safe.
Yeah, I feel like Felbar might be the safer place, so maybe we help Adbar out a little bit.
It's quite all right.
Aye. Adbar it is. And he starts cranking the wheel, and the one in the center lifts open the vent, letting the big fire burn again into the air balloon as you guys ascend up into the sky and begin pushing forward, floating onwards into the afternoon sky. And before we call it a night here, I would like everyone to roll me a D100.
Oh, surprise! And the ship crashes and we all died.
Next week on Goblins Under the Stairs.
99.
2.
Oh, I love this spread. Look at that. Look at the average. It's like a perfect average.
That's amazing.
Wow.
All right, guys. Well,
Solid 50.
with that said, the airship turns about 90 degrees, heading onwards towards Citadel Adbar. It's about a 2-day travel from where you guys are. We shall see the next time we're all together how that travel goes, and if you guys make it on over there unscathed and safe.
Mm.
Well, you guys made it out of Iron Slag. Good job.
Did
Got
it.
all our stuff ready to
I
roll.
thought we were gonna die.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Well, thank you
Finish that
guys.
Pedialyte.
Yeah. Have you been? Was that full at the beginning of the match or the game?
No, it was half empty.
Right on. Well, I hope the two of you are less hungover now. The little bit of slashing and bashing cures the alcohol blues. We'll catch you guys on the flippy floppy. Thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. Thank you three for playing along with me tonight. We'll discuss in the Discord what happens next and when you guys want to play next time. We can all get together.
Later, cats.
Yeah.
All right. Take that short rest and
See you guys.
watch out for those goblins on the stairs. Peace out.
Later, gators.
Later.
Oh.